YouTube, what is going on, people? And we are back as usual with the review of the Chelsea versus Liverpool game from Stamford Bridge. Yo, guys, this game was nuts. It was nuts. This was super tense. Wow, so tense. I was on the edge of my seat, shouting at the TV. Every kind of word did come out my mouth, I swear to God. Guys, I wasn't even this nervous and this scared when I watched the Champions League final against Real Madrid. It was more nerve-wracking than that. I was all over the place. But less about my feelings and more about my thoughts and opinions on the game. And where else to start better than the tactics board and versus screen, guys. Yeah, so let's move over to the tactics board and versus screen. As you can see, the end result 1-1, Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1 from Stamford Bridge. And there we have, I believe, the starting lineup. So guys, these were the teams that came out to verse each other at Stamford Bridge. We're going to start with Chelsea. Out wide left, it was Hazard. Then Giroud came in from Morata, Willian on the right side, Kovacic left of the middle three, Jorginho came in for Fabregas, and Kante came in for Barkley, the right of the three, Jorginho in the middle of the three. At left back was Alonso, then Luis, partnered Rudiger, who came back in for Cahill, and Azpilicueta at right back. For Liverpool, it was as expected. There were some rumours that Van Dijk may not start or may miss the game, but he travelled with the squad down to London, and obviously he made the starting 11 and played the full 90 minutes. So in goal we had Alisson. At right back we had Trent. Our centre backs across the middle, Gomez and Van Dijk. At left back, Robertson. Midfield, Gini Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson and James Milner. Up front, Salah, Firmino and Mane. An 11 that anybody probably could have picked. I mean, it's pretty nailed on these days what side Klopp is going to field. And I'm wondering if that is playing to his disadvantage, even though, you know, he has a much stronger squad, much bigger squad. Is it playing into other teams' hands? We're going to go through all the players individually and probably rate them. So starting with Alisson. Alisson made some great saves, some one-on-ones. I'm going to talk about the goal he conceded first of all. I don't want to blame Alisson, but he got fingers to it. You see, this is the thing. If Hazard had shot like he did against Mingele the other day, then I would have said, nah, no chance. But he didn't quite catch it clean. It wasn't a net ripping shot. He didn't catch it sweet. He caught it enough. I just think in that position, and it's easy for me to say it because I'm not there. I'm not the one in goal. But when you know a guy is coming from that angle, surely your mind's got to be on the back post across the face of the goal. I know they say keeper should never be beaten at his near post, but he just isn't. I think it's always going to the back post. When the player is in that position, generally they go for the back post. A little bit of anticipation. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I don't know. But you know what? He more than made up for it with the other class saves. There wasn't no awkward moments. If he felt unsure, he just kicked it out. I saw 2 occasions when he just put it down the other end of the pitch and then we recuperated, or he put it out by the halfway line. Bought us some time. That was good stuff from Alisson. I think Alisson deserves an 8. Had he saved that Hazard shot, definitely a 10. But unfortunately, couldn't keep out the first Hazard shot. Moving on to Trent. A lot of people were talking about Trent and his poor performance. I didn't think he had a poor performance at all. I think he was pretty steady. I think he was pretty strong. I didn't see Hazard get around the outside of him at all. Although Hazard generally likes to drift back as he's an inverted winger, back onto his right foot, cutting like towards the D and then, you know, release a shot. He likes to do that. I didn't really see none of that. He wasn't dribbling across our box. I was having thoughts that maybe he would do that a lot and it would commit Gomez across and he can slide somebody in, or he skips past Gomez, takes a bang. But I never saw him do that at all. Maybe the midfield was just too compact with so many players and stuff that it just never opened up for him. But I felt Trent was rather comfortable, so I think people need to get off his back. I think his performance was good. One thing I will say though is when Hazard did score the goal and he was played through, Salah was in a prime position to track. He could have gone with Hazard, but he looked and he could see what was going to happen and he just bottled it. He was thinking, nah, that's the wrong area for me. That's the wrong area. I should be in Chelsea's area, not my own area. He bottled it. Even if he was just there around Hazard and Hazard has to beat him to have a shot, don't foul him. You're in the box. Let Hazard beat you. I'm telling you, if you guys watch the replay, you will see Salah. He just didn't even bother. And there was no way once that ball had passed Trent was getting back. Gomez done his best to get across. It wasn't like the other opportunity where William was clean through. As soon as I saw he was that far from the goal, I was like, you are not getting away with Gomez and Van Dijk. No, they just cut him off. So that's the only thing I'd say in regards to the Hazard opportunity. But once again, it's that man. I'll tell you something, man. He's grating on me. Whenever he's in this mood and everybody's hyped about him, chest comes out, the mouth opens, the chin hits the concrete, and he walks around with his face like, it is really irritating. Like, he's like this absolute genius of a player. But when he feels like it, but he's never done it consistently, season in, season out. And I don't care whether it's for a manager you don't like or you don't want to play with or you fall out. You play to your ability and you be consistent for yourself. This might be quite a long video and I'm dreading it because I got to edit it and do all that stuff as well. God help me. So Trent, his game today, I thought he could have been better. Crossing was a bit off. Good enough for the draw. Trent gets a 7. Gomez, I thought he was fantastic. I thought Gomez was great. This is not the Gomez I'm used to seeing. I seriously, this guy has turned corners. Really has. He has turned corners. He's even dribbling into midfield. He's like going past, he's like skipping past Giroud, like feinting the shoulder. Who do you think you are, Stanley Matthews? Seriously? He had a big performance and I didn't see any kind of, I would have thought maybe he'd been a bit scared or a bit nervous. No way, this guy was more composed than, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it. So for me, I'm going to give him a 9. I thought he had a big performance, a 9. Had he not conceded the goal, would have got a 10 because it would have been a clean sheet. Straight 10. All of them would have got a 10. Alisson would have got a 10. Trent would have got a 10. Gomez would have got a 10. Whole back four would have got a 10. Van Dijk, boss. Absolute boss. This guy, he seems to be better than when he was even with Southampton. Honestly, like, the guy is fast. I don't even remember Giroud winning a header. Physically, just outmuscles Giroud. And Morata is an animal. No mistakes. When he's in possession with the ball, he just plays in. He's actually like a defensive Pirlo. He just plays in Van Dijk time. He just plays when he wants to. Like literally. Nah, not now. Hold on a minute. A couple more seconds. Oh yeah, alright, passing now. He's just so like calm and relaxed and alright, yeah, I can do that. Guy does not panic. I think he edges Gomez just 9.5. Robertson, I thought he was good today. I think he was more nervous than anyone. I think beginning of the match he was a little nervous. For some reason, it might not have been nervous. It might have just been caught sleeping a little bit. I thought he got into it. He got into the flow, the speed of the game after sort of 12, 13, 14 minutes. Took him a little while. There was an early chance that, you know, where he played everyone on, luckily didn't cost us. So for me, Robertson, I would have liked Robertson to have got down that side a bit better since Aspie and even Alonso actually. Aspie they weren't committing, they were staying compact. They didn't want to come out to us because they knew we were facing behind. So it was difficult for him to find anything or cross anything. It got tight. Chelsea worked it well. Their game plan was pretty good. Don't be fooled that they didn't have a game plan. They had a game plan. Robertson, I think he was better than Trent. I'm going to give him an 8. Wijnaldum was an absolute, man, this guy did not stop. It was excellent. Like, he was everywhere. I'll say it from now. He was my man of the match. I'm going to give him a 9. I thought he was excellent. Enough of the attacks and enough of the defensive work and the link play. Wijnaldum. And I just think he kind of edged Milner. Because Milner was doing the same job. And then they had Henderson in there who was breaking up play, reshuffling, recycling the attack. You know, Henderson breaks up the play, passes it into Wijnaldum or Milner. Wijnaldum and Milner are the two that link the play from the defenders to the attack. Obviously, Henderson links the play as well, but those two are the workers that get up and down, box to box, and link the play. Defend, join the attack. They are key, and that is why they are the reason why they're played every single minute, because that is the job they do. Jordan Henderson is more of an enforcer. He's more of a protection. He's a defensive side. If you want to be defensive and strong, you have Jordan Henderson in there. And now we have Fabinho. If you want to be more offensive, you take out Jordan and you put in Oxlade or you put in Keita. Then you become more offensive. But your Milner and your Wijnaldum, they do both. They do the offensive side and they do the defensive side. Actually, a bit like Kovacic and Kante. Kovacic is the one that does dribble box to box, and Kante is the one that doesn't dribble box to box. Wijnaldum is the one that dribbles box to box, the carrier, and Milner is the one that doesn't dribble box to box. I think personally, maybe it's just early days, but Wijnaldum and Milner have a better goal rate than Kante and Kovacic at the moment. Maybe those guys will start scoring, but currently, you know, assists and goals, Wijnaldum and Milner definitely do have it. So Wijnaldum gets a big 9 for me. Milner, I thought was great. I thought didn't put a foot wrong, worked his off, so he gets 8.5. Jordan Henderson was just Jordan Henderson. He got stuck in, he was physical, he won headed air balls, he won first balls, he won the second balls, he was mopping up. He just lacks a little bit of craftsmanship. But because of Milner and Wijnaldum, the craftsmanship tends to come from our front three once the ball has been put into them. Whether it's Firmino, Mane or Salah, that's where our craftsmanship is from. It's not really about our midfielders. And in between our front three is when intricate passes come about between the three of them. Jordan Henderson's rating, an 8. I thought he was very good and I thought he was steady. Mo Salah was on fire today. His final pass, his final shot, his final touch, he just kept extinguishing it. He just put it out of play. What grates on me with Mo Salah is that he just seems greedy. I can see teams are putting 2 or 3 men on him. I can see how it ends up like that because he tries to take on that many men. So they crowd him out because he runs into a dead end. Take one touch, little shimmy of the boot, fake pass, and then lay it off. Do what Eden Hazard does. Make it unpredictable. Every time Salah gets the ball, he seems to run into a dead end. Just lay it off. You're too predictable at the moment. Teams and managers have watched the way our team plays now. They know what players to look out for. They're more aware, they're more ready. Do something different. Alonso wasn't even pushing up, so there's no space in behind. You got to beat a guy that's twice your size. This is why, after my preview, I actually had second thoughts and I thought, maybe Shaqiri would have been better in this kind of game because Shaqiri's more unpredictable and looking for the assist or someone in a better position if he picks it up in that wide space. Well, Salah will try and dribble past them and he'll get caught, he'll get tackled. Another thing I noticed that he does is when Trent plays the ball into him high, shoulder high, head high, or Alisson does, or anybody for that matter, he always tries to run in behind the defender. The defender will just chest it or header it. This is not Sunday League. You're not going to get that ball. It's just going to get intercepted. He always does it. Watch him, guys. He just tries to run off of the defender so the ball comes in behind, but it just gets intercepted all the time, and it drives me nuts. I actually think we need to get off of his hole. I also think that Klopp needs to break up that front three a little bit. I don't mean break it up as in sell one of the players. I mean, he needs to tinker with it. Take out Mane. I don't know. Take out Mane. Play someone on the left. You know, maybe play Firmino on the left and Sturridge through the middle and Shaqiri right. Some of those guys need to realise that they need to start playing as a team together. Because I really think it's like Mane being greedy and Salah being greedy. Or they think because of last season, they think they're so good now, they don't need to actually perform to that level. But they think they actually are already performing to that level. They don't realise they've declined. And it's only as the season goes on and games pass, they're thinking, hold on, we ain't playing as good as we usually are. They're in denial because we're not losing. And we've kind of crept past Tottenham, saved our own bacon against Chelsea. So they're kind of thinking, well, you know, we ain't lost, so we just haven't had the chances. No, you have had the chances. You've just fluffed them. So I just think Klopp needs to mess about with that front three a little bit and kind of get them back on their toes. In this game against Chelsea, Firmino looked lost. He looked bored. Everyone was saying he was rubbish. He wasn't getting the ball. The ball just keeps going to Salah all the time. The ball goes to Salah. Mane wasn't even in the game. Only time Mane was in the game was when Keita really come on and started moving the ball towards the left. And that's when Mane got involved and Sturridge, because Sturridge scored from the left side of the pitch. And that was, I think it was Keita that passed the ball to him actually. It feels like the ball just always goes into Salah. And then he just dribbles. He doesn't lay it off. Just pass the ball around with each other and then create an opening. It's like whoever gets closest to the area first, it's like they got first dibs on driving into the area to try and score. Pull one of them out for a little while, in fairness. I think it's time to maybe give Salah a little bit of a rest, you know, kick up the bum. But then Mane seems to play all the time as well. I mean, maybe Mane, maybe if you're trying to go for the league and these are your best players, how can you drop them? How can you take out Mane when you've got to play, you know, a good side? Klopps in one hell of a situation, a predicament. They were the issues I felt Salah had, and his finishing was horrendous. We could have been 3-0 up, and then the open goal, when he went around the keeper, as soon as I saw him go around the keeper, I thought he was going to score, thinking it was on target, and then I saw Rudiger come, and then I thought, it saved his bacon. Maybe going around a keeper was a bit too much. But that sums up Salah. He's doing a little bit too much all the time. He's trying to make every goal amazing. You had the ball, just slide it through the keeper's legs. As Gifty said from the Football Banter Show. Check him out. Lovely guy. Love his videos. Always watched them. Just slide it through the keeper's leg or just slide it past the goalkeeper. You're one-on-one practically. Why do the extra little bit of... It's so frustrating. Salah... I thought he had a good game, but the finishing was just absolutely atrocious. He could have got a 10 easy. If he didn't have the chances that he had, it would have been a simple 7. I think at 8 is good. Firmino and Mane, I'm going to do these two the same because they kind of had the same sort of game. They lost out in the Chelsea game because the majority of our team just plays to Salah. It's this thing where whoever our opponents are, when they're high up or attacking us and we suddenly feel like we can counter, all we look for is Salah straight in. We don't look for nobody else, just Salah straight in. I don't know whether it's because he's usually the furthest man forward or Klopp wants it like that. And I think Firmino and Mane suffered in the game because of that. Nothing was coming into Firmino, so he couldn't hold up play a bit, struggle for defender, turn, put a little ball through because he wasn't getting the ball. You couldn't feed Mane. Because Salah gets the ball so much, and he squanders 3 or 4 chances. So when Mane gets the ball, he wants a chance. And I can understand that and I get that, especially if he's near the area. He wants the chance. He wants to have a crack. Salah's had 4 chances, 5 chances, and no one's moaning at him. If Mane gets the chance, he's going to take it because, you know, he's had 4 chances. Why can't I have a chance? I'm in a position where I feel like I'm good enough to score. So I'm going to try and score. You know, the only one that isn't really, in my opinion, greedy, really thinks that sort of way is Firmino. But Mane and Salah, when I really look deep into it, I just think it's competitive between the both of them. They both want to score and they both just make wrong decisions. That's all I think it is. So I thought they had similar performances, Firmino and Mane. I'm going to give them a 7 because they didn't have the opportunities that Salah had, or as many. Mane had a great one and everyone is saying it was a wonderful save from Kepa. I think it was a good save. It's one of those shots where as he's going down, he swings his leg and he's going to hook round the ball. The keeper sees his leg, you know, going towards the ball, hooking round the ball. As it's going to hook round the ball, it's showing the direction the ball is going to go in. It was down to the keeper's right. And I just think that he got down well and it was a good save. But I don't think it was an amazing save. No, I don't. Amazing save would have been if he kept out Sturridge's shot, because I think it was quite predictable which area of the goal it's going to go to. I think you could see it. He could see it. He's a goalkeeper. He's used to seeing those situations. But yeah, I can't really remember any other Mane chances. I think there was a header, or was it Firmino, and it was cleared off the line by Luis. Even if Luis didn't clear it, Kepa was there. I think that header should have been directed to Kepa's left-hand side post. So yeah, there are the ratings for Firmino and Mane. Now over to Klopp substitutions. And the substitutions we made was Jordan Henderson coming off for Naby Keita. Milner then switched to the right side and Wijnaldum played through the middle. The other substitution was, which was before, Salah coming off for Shaqiri. And our final substitution was James Milner coming off for Daniel Sturridge, as we pretty much changed to a 4-2-4 style formation. Probably was more thing like this because Shaqiri, Firmino, Keita, Wijnaldum, and Mane, Sturridge were all in Chelsea box trying to salvage a point. I'm not nailed on, but it looked like it. They were the 3 substitutions Klopp made. Daniel Sturridge, absolute wonder goal, but that was all he needed. Definitely will be in there for goal of the season as a contender. Keita definitely added an avenue, fresh, full of energy, ability, skill to go past 2-3 players. His build-up play, if I remember correctly, was partly the reason Sturridge ended up receiving the ball. I've noticed that in many games when Keita comes on the pitch, Mane definitely comes to life. But it's also no surprise because, Keita, he naturally will play to his left side. Shaqiri had an absolutely blinding opportunity to level the score at 1-1. Missed an open goal, steered it wide. Alright, okay, granted it's his weak foot, but just put your foot through that. Other than that, I thought again, Shaqiri came on, he made an impact. He definitely changed. There was a bit more pressure around the box. That's because he retained possession better than Salah did. He didn't just try and dribble and go around all the players and score. He was a bit more composed. We had him on a few free kicks. He had a free kick effort, which Kepa saved. So I don't usually rate our subs, but this time I will rate them for the minutes they was on the pitch. For the amount of time Sturridge was on the pitch, I think he maximised it. I'm going to give him a 10 because he won us a point. Shaqiri, he was on the pitch. Again, I thought he was productive. I thought he was assertive. I thought he was ready. I thought he was hungry. I thought he was unlucky. I'm going to give him an 8. Keita, when he came on, I thought the same thing. I thought he was hungry. I thought he's ready. I'm going to give Keita the same as Shaqiri. I'm going to give him an 8. There was chances. There was some serious, skillful individual ability. Man, that is a tongue twister. So guys, and you know what I'm going to say? And I have been Red Mist, LFC Ninja. We will see you for Napoli. Let's do this, people.